Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Football Manager 2011 and welcome to Burnley vs Liverpool from Turf Moor. This will be the third time we've actually played Burnley this season. Of course we played them in the, I think it was the League Cup. Yes, the League Cup. Actually I'm going to have to clarify that because I'm always wrong these days. And just make sure. We played them earlier in the season. There we go, yep, League Cup 4th round. It was a 3-0 win. But of course this is going to be a very much different team. We've got Babacar and Tot. I think there's only one change, and that is Valbuena comes in for Kaut, although I could be wrong. Zend and Shaqiri, of course, still playing for Burnley on loan from, where's he on loan from again? I forget all the time. Man City. I mean, a lot of people were very quick to point out last time, when the first time we spotted Shaqiri, I was like, oh my god, he's playing for Burnley. Obviously, I could see he was on loan, I just didn't feel it was necessary, and then everyone's like, you know he's on loan. And I was like, well, yeah, I just didn't think I needed to say it. You know, the fact that he plays for Burnley, he's actually in this Burnley team starting 11 was all I needed to say. So anyway, yeah, we've got this strange setup from Burnley here. They've also got 4-2-2-2, I suppose it'd be, but I don't know if that, I don't know, it's just a weird, it's again this huge gap, and we've seen Stoke in players before, and it's this big gap in midfield. I don't quite understand that. Steven Gerrard and Raul Morelos are going to absolutely dominating. So let's get into it. Actually, we should have a look. We'll have a look at the league before we actually kick off. We won't check as it stands. We'll just check the league. Bear in mind we have 3 games in hand on Arsenal, and we are still ahead of them by, admittedly, by 1 point. Of course, this is down to the World Club Championship. Obviously, took us away from the Premier League. But let's see then. See how we get on today. We've had some, as you know, as I've mentioned many times before, we've had many classic games against Burnley, and I have a feeling that this could be another one. But we've beaten them twice this season so far. Can we make it 3? It is rare that you do beat a team 3 times in one season, but this is impressive stuff so far, and kind of let down there by Babacar, but that was a good start. As I say, you know, I've used this before, but I'll say it again just to re-spark the imagination. It's quite rare that you do beat a team 3 times in one season. When we played Chelsea in the Champions League a few years ago, when we won at Stamford Bridge, it was like the first time, this is in real life obviously, this is the first time anyone had ever won at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League for, I think it was getting on 5 years, and we were the first team to do it, and we beat them at home and away, and we got drawn them in, of course, in the Champions League as well, and we got to that point where it's like, okay, we're just not going to beat them now. You know, it's just, we can't beat them twice. They must have us sussed by now, and obviously we didn't. I mean, it was still a classic tie. You know, I think they won at Anfield 3-1. I remember John Orisa scored that header own goal, and then, you know, we had that insane game at the Bridge when oh God, who was it? Well, there's loads of goal scorers, wasn't it? I think everyone just scored different goals. I mean, the standout goal for me that time was Aurelio when he just caught everyone out with that free kick from that insane angle where he buried it in the bottom right hand corner from an incredible angle. But you know, anyway, that's just me giving an example there. I've been thinking also, just on a more personal note for a moment, about, we've seen live streams before. I probably may have actually done this by the time the video comes out, but been thinking about doing a podcast instead. Now obviously everyone's like, we should do a podcast with Chris, or you should do a podcast with someone else. I was thinking more about, obviously, with it being a bit more difficult to do it with other people. Obviously, you're waiting on other people. Yeah, what the hell's it frozen? What's going on? Okay, the game's just completely frozen. There we go. Oh, that was worth the wait, wasn't it? Jesus fucking Christ. Morelos powers it in for the 1-0 lead in just onto the halfway stage of the first half. But yeah, with the podcast, I was thinking just me talking, you know, no guests, nothing like that, just me talking. Obviously we could have guests in the future, but, you know, obviously instead of having to wait on other people to do stuff, you know, having to communicate anything, you know, there's no technicalities involved, nothing technical, nothing out of the ordinary. It's just me, a microphone and some recording software talking for 60 odd, 30 odd minutes or whatever you want it to be. You know, it's not that difficult, and, you know, maybe instead of me just sort of commentating on a game like this, maybe it would be a bit easier, you know, if I could just waffle on about, well, not waffle, but, you know, talk about stuff in the real world without obviously being distracted by a Football Manager game, or, you know, commenting on stuff, you know, that you can have in MP3 form. Just a thought, you know. Oh, and Glenn Johnson there. He hasn't scored. He hasn't scored for a long while, actually. A long while. Has he even? Actually, has Glenn Johnson even scored on this save? In this series, not just the season, in the series. I really don't know. I'm gonna have to find out. Actually, I'm gonna find out now. I want to know. We'll just pause the game. They'll pause it, but let's see. So overall, no goals. That's this season, obviously. Yeah. Oh, he got 3 goals in the first season, 2009-2010. Not on this save though. So he's actually never scored on this save. He got assist though, but he's never actually scored. Let's get back to the classic. If there's a highlight, no, there isn't. Oh, wait, here we go again. Raul Morella's on this one. Nope. Can't get the ball away this time. But we look comfortable so far. Been able to talk over it without. Wow, without instant like that. But Hazard screamer onto the bar there. And we've got a corner from Valbuena. Valbuena's looked okay this game so far. He's done a bit more than he usually has. He's one of those players who just sort of goes under the radar, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. He will just do the job, and that's all you want from a player. Oh, Morelos could be on for second. What a save, Grant! Wow, I thought Morelos was absolutely going to bury that, but no, we have another corner here. Really should stop Gerrard taking these corners, but I mean, in real life, I probably wouldn't have Gerrard taking the corners, but on this, I think you're probably going to have him on it, when you've got players like Morelos and Johnson who can hit the ball. I mean, Johnson can hit a ball, we just haven't seen it evidently in this game. But remember a few years ago when he scored that incredible goal for Portsmouth, on the half, not even on a half volley, it was just a straight volley. Yeah, I think that was like goal of the season, just in the Premier League for that particular season. I can't remember when it was. I think it was 2008. Gerrard's in here. That's well, you don't expect that from Steven Gerrard. You expect that to hit the target all the time. 10 out of 10, never mind 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 times. And they've got an injury, and you can say, I thought they had Damien Duff for a second then. I was like, what? But it's all going wrong for them so far. Torres has been quiet in this game. Put a good ball in. Oh, Babacar was in there. It's fallen to Gerrard though. Raul Morelos again. It's sneaked in, but Babacar is offside. It did go in, but it took a deflection off Babacar. Well, I don't think he moved a fraction. He was just, the ball hit him in an offside position. It's not particularly difficult to comprehend. Let's have a look at then. Was he actually offside? Because I've actually seen that the game can get it wrong sometimes. Oh yes, he is clearly offside. He is clearly offside, and albeit a good shot from Morelos, not necessarily ruined, but yeah, ruined by Babacar. But we get to the half-time interval with a 1-0 lead. So encourage the team. As we do, I find this almost always works. Being pleased and all that does put a bit of complacency in the mind, so I would never recommend that too often. But as you can see, the conditions are fine. They're all getting on with it. We've got players such as Sawyer and Bruna and Atkinson on the bench again. Not too sure. Excuse me. Not too sure whether they will be coming on again, like we did in the Leicester game. Obviously, we did. Oh no. That's another player we want to be injured. It's Eden Hazard. Right then, on the left. I say we bring Sawyer on. Give him a proper go. Because this should be a good level. It's not too difficult, but it's a good challenge for him. I want to see how he does in this. Sam Sawyer. What a ball. Here we go. There's Johnson. Oh, what a save by Grant again. That was the closest Johnson's probably ever come to scoring on this save. He'll score. Watch, he is destined to score. He's coming on to the end of these balls. He will score eventually. I just know it. He's offside now, Gerrard. But again, I've not had to change the instructions or anything. With it being fairly comfortable, they haven't posed a huge threat to us. There have been 1 or 2 opportunities for them, but they haven't really taken it. I mean, as you can see, look, it just goes straight up. Babacar nearly getting on the end of that, and he would have been 1-on-1 if he'd got to that. See Digne here. Hopefully he'll be composed. I just know in a few years Lucas Digne is going to sign for a big club, because he is a genuine player, but he is going to sign for a big club, and I'm going to be like, no, he's a walking disaster, he's going to be terrible, and he turned out to be one of the best left backs in the world, I bet you. And it's like, this game got it wrong, how dare you. Yeah, I mean, because I know, actually here's a funny fact for you, in case you didn't know this. Everton, and I'm not just saying it because it's Everton, they actually use Football Manager to scout future talents, and that is absolutely no word of a lie. I'm not too sure if they still do it to this day, but they did it the other day. They were doing it a few years ago. Oh, Sawyer, that's a foul from Sawyer. I don't like that. This might be a yellow card. Hopefully, it won't be red because he's calling him over. It is a red card. I didn't honestly. But with the way the text looked, you know, when it wasn't just your regular foul. Let's put. Can Jared play on the left? Just as curiosity. He's competent. He'll have to. I personally think Torres, not Torres, Babacar. Actually, can Torres play there? I think Torres this now will have to be an inside forward. Now, I know a lot of guys are like, I know a lot of you guys that say never play a striker. Actually, we can't. Well, I'll tell you what we can do. We'll have to sacrifice him then. Gerrard can play there. We'll take Torres off since a lot of people get a bit antsy about this. We're going to have to. We'll bring on Kalou. To be honest, that hasn't done a great deal, if I'm honest. It hasn't changed a mass. Obviously, I know Sawyer's now so down to 10 men, but that hasn't changed a great deal, so that's annoying. Hazard's injured. His replacement gets sent off, so I have to sacrifice Fernando Torres. And I think that's going to go for a corner because of Morella's last touch, but no, Aga gets it away. That's well played. Well, that's actually just not gone very well at all. I don't think Hazard would have done that. I don't think he's ever been sent off for Liverpool. And as you can see now, we're searching up for players that just aren't even there. So we've sacrificed Torres for Kalou, which isn't that bad a choice. But good stuff there from Valbuena. That was clever. Gerrard has just jinxed it past BK. That's really good play from Gerrard. Oh, Babacar has to finish. What a block! Who on earth was that? How on earth did Babacar not finish that? There's an open goal. The defender got. I mean, it was probably good defending rather than poor play from Babacar. That was really. Oh, what a ball from Johnson Kalou. Oh, what a finish, Salomon Kalou. Yes, that was fantastic. There we go. Super sub indeed, Salomon Kalou. Well, maybe that send off was a blessing in disguise. Because we had Hazard injured. Obviously Sawyer being his replacement, he got sent off, but then Sawyer's replacement pops in a fantastic finish here. I mean, obviously Grant will be disappointed he was beaten at his near post there, but I mean, I don't know if the game is completely on doubt yet. I mean, a 2-goal lead is never perfect. But to be honest, Burnley haven't offered a massive amount of threat. It would be interesting now if they did get one more goal. So one goal now, but to be honest, I can't see it happening. See what I mean? Yeah, I mean, there's 15 minutes to go. They've had 7 shots. I mean, 2 have been on target. That says it all, really. But once again, it looks like we are going to be beating Burnley. Oh, Valbuena could have cut it across there, but he hit it into the goalie. It's quite weird this because, you know, the first time we played Burnley in the FA Cup, it was, of course, the furthest we ever got in the FA Cup. And Douglas is going to be sent off here. No, he's not. I thought he would have been because, well, he's got away with that. And yeah, I think that has to be a yellow card. Well, why is the referee not booking them? What's going on here? What on earth is going on? Never mind. We're going to run the game out. We have one chance here for Burnley. It's been headed away. And Jay Simpson, that sums up the game really for Burnley. Not close enough at all. And they haven't really pressed us very hard at all either. But Atkinson's in that really weird role where it's like 10 men attacking midfield. He isn't an attacking midfielder. He has a lot of pace apparently, as if in case you didn't know. Is now. I think Kalou should be able to find him. Oh, it's gone the other way. Never mind. But Gerrard's searching him out. Danny Fox is going to be sent off. He's already on a yellow card, and that's gonna finish the game. 10 men each. We saw it before. He was walking on thin ice, and he's gone. Danny Fox is off. So Gerrard will probably put this ball in then, since we've been wasting a bit of time with that faffing around. And that should do it. Nope, one more attack for Burnley maybe. Even though they're running backwards. Nope, well that was silly on their half. And Jubb's boys never look like losing. I don't see that. It's a bit weird, but yeah. Done well. I think I would say delighted with Kalou. He made a very good impact in the game and impressed me. So we take that lead with 2 games in hand now to 4 points over Arsenal and Man United. They have their gap over Man City in 4th, Chelsea in 5th. After there's a point behind City, and they have played the game more as well. He may have been accused of being biased towards the visitors. That's what happens when you're Liverpool. I don't know. I don't know if that's a sort of thing where it's like biased because it's Liverpool and they have a natural tendency. Referees will have a tendency to be biased. I don't know if I want to, because what happens is anyway. Never mind. Let's ignore what I was saying before. Actually, just before we do this, what's Hazard? He'll be out 4 weeks. That's not too bad. Could be worse. Could be better. One thing I'll say is when you get to this now, it's okay to appeal about for it every so often, but I don't want to give him a warning or anything. But what you've got to be cautious about is if you appeal against something, and I think I will appeal against the ban, you will have players who will become unhappy because you're being unfair. You know, like you're appealing against this player's ban, but you're giving a warning to this other player. How's that fair? You know. So you know, it doesn't really make any sense. So Hazard will be missing the League Cup semi-final, and that is in fact our next game, as you just saw. It is the first leg in the League Cup semi-final. It is going to be at Anfield. It is going to be Liverpool versus Chelsea, the underachieving Chelsea. So join me for that, please. It is our 3rd semi-final in 3 years, and you can't say I didn't actually. You can't say that I'm cheating for this because I put out kids against the likes of Burnley and so on, and they still pull through. So I think that is a testament to the good youth in this team as well. And please join me for that. I hope you enjoyed this Burnley game today, and I'm going to go ahead now and play this Chelsea game. So thanks for watching, guys.